A man builds one of the biggest empires in music history. Private jets, mansions in every state, a billion-dollar brand. He throws parties so wild, so famous, that just being invited was a status symbol in Hollywood. Then one day, federal agents raid his houses. Not one house, not two, multiple mansions, at the same time like a military operation. And within 2 years, that empire is gone. His fortune is cut in half, and he's sitting in a prison cell in New Jersey. But here's the thing. Everybody knows the headlines. What I'm going to show you today is what actually happened behind those headlines. This is the untold story of Sean Diddy Combs' downfall. Before we get to the downfall, you need to understand the rise, because the higher you build something, the harder it falls. Sean Combs didn't start as Diddy. He started as Puff Daddy. He built Bad Boy Records. He helped launch some of the biggest names in hip-hop history like the Notorious B.I.G., Machine Gun Kelly, and Faith Evans. He didn't just make music, he made culture, fashion line, vodka brand, TV deals, real estate. This man touched almost every part of the entertainment business. By the 2020s, he wasn't just a rapper anymore. He was a mogul, a billionaire by some counts. The kind of guy who could get any celebrity on earth in the room just by picking up the phone. And that's important, because power like that, it doesn't just open doors, it closes mouths. For years, there were whispers, rumors about his parties, rumors about how he treated people close to him. But whispers don't take down empires. Evidence does. So what changed? In 2024, surveillance footage surfaced, hotel security camera footage, and what it showed shocked the world. Diddy in a hallway, physically attacking his ex-girlfriend, the singer Cassie Ventura, kicking her, dragging her by force. This wasn't a rumor anymore. This was video, undeniable. And once that footage got out, something shifted. People who had stayed quiet for years suddenly felt like maybe now someone would actually listen. Cassie herself had already filed a lawsuit against him in late 2023, describing years of abuse. That case settled fast, within a day, which honestly made people even more suspicious. Why settle so quickly if there's nothing to hide? That lawsuit cracked the door open, and once it opened, more people walked through it. Over the months that followed, more accusers came forward. Different people, different stories, but some very similar patterns. Then came September 2024. Federal agents raided his homes in Los Angeles and Miami at the same time. What items were found in the houses, I won't call them by name, but you can read them on the screen. And shortly after, he was arrested in New York. This is the moment the empire started to crack. Now, let's slow down here. Prosecutors charged Combs with 3 big things. Number 1, racketeering conspiracy. Prosecutors said he ran his organization like a criminal enterprise, using his businesses, his staff, his money to help cover up and enable serious crimes. Number 2, trafficking. Prosecutors said he forced or coerced men and women into situations, using power, drugs, and threats. Number 3, transportation for the purpose of prostitution. This is a much older law called the Mann Act. It basically means he arranged for people to travel across state lines for paid sexual activity. The most famous piece of evidence in this whole case became something called freak-offs. According to testimony, these were long, drug-fueled sexual encounters, often filmed, involving male escorts that Combs allegedly arranged. Prosecutors argued these weren't just parties. They were, in their words, controlled and coerced. The trial started in May 2025 in a federal courthouse in New York, and it went on for almost 2 months. Cassie Ventura took the stand while pregnant and described years of abuse in detail. Another woman testified under the name Jane to protect her identity, describing similar experiences. Combs' defense team didn't deny that his relationships were messy. They didn't deny he could be violent. What they argued was this: everything that happened was between consenting adults. They said prosecutors were trying to turn his personal life, his flaws, his lifestyle, into a federal crime that never actually existed. Here's the twist most people don't expect. Combs did not testify in his own defense. The jury deliberated for 3 days, and then came a verdict that shocked almost everyone. Not guilty on racketeering conspiracy, not guilty on sex trafficking, the ones that carried a possible life sentence, but guilty on 2 counts: under that older law, the Mann Act, for transportation to engage in prostitution. Diddy was not convicted of trafficking. He was not convicted of running a criminal empire. He was convicted of something much narrower, arranging travel for prostitution. Half win, half loss. And that split verdict is exactly why this case is still being fought over right now, a year later. In October 2025, the judge sentenced Combs to 4 years and 2 months in prison, plus a $500,000 fine. Now, here's why that number is such a big deal. His lawyers argued that for a Mann Act conviction like this, most people get sentenced to around 15 months. Combs got over 3 times that. Why? Because the judge said he had to consider Combs' full pattern of behavior, even the abusive conduct connected to the charges Combs was acquitted of. The judge looked him in the eye and said that Combs abused the power and control he had over women he claimed to love. That's the moment the story split the internet into 2 camps. One side said, finally, accountability. A powerful man who spent years untouchable is finally facing real consequences. The other side said, wait a second, if the jury found him not guilty of trafficking, how can the judge basically punish him for it anyway during sentencing? That question, can a judge punish you for crimes a jury said you didn't commit, is now at the center of a legal fight playing out right now, in real time. That could change his fate completely. This is the part almost nobody outside the courtroom knows about. Combs' legal team is now fighting back hard. They filed an appeal arguing the judge acted like, in their words, a 13th juror, meaning the judge overruled the jury's decision through the back door by using the sentence to punish behaviors the jury had already rejected. In April 2026, this went before the Federal Appeals Court, and something remarkable happened. One of the appellate judges, right there in open court, said this was a question no federal appeals court in the entire country has ever had to answer before. Think about that. This isn't just a celebrity gossip story anymore. This case might actually set a new legal precedent that affects how judges sentence people all across America. As of right now, that ruling still has not come down. Nobody knows which way it will go. It could reduce his sentence, it could throw out the conviction completely, or it could uphold everything exactly as it is. Meanwhile, his release date has quietly been adjusted multiple times by the federal prison system. And here's another detail all of us missed completely. Combs is still facing civil lawsuits outside this criminal case. Multiple people have accused him of assault in separate cases that are still working through the courts right now. This story is not over, not even close.